What's going on, y'all? So listen.
What's going on, y'all? Okay, listen. I'm down here because I hope y'all can hear me clearly. The dryer is on, so that's all y'all get to hear. If y'all hear anything, I am in the laundry room, and I'm only down here because I was up in here washing. Okay, and that's it. That's it. That's it. Let's just get into it. Okay, this is Love and Marriage Huntsville, season 4, episode 4. Keke, do you love me? No. All right, but anyway. The episode was cute. It was cute for what it was. So we get started. Tiffany comes over to Mel's house. You know, she was up there talking about how the party was good. Girl, you brought in, you did this, you did that. I was like, okay, and then Tiffany goes into asking, like, what was up with Stormy? What is this issue that Stormy got with her? What is the, she confused by it all. You know, she was like, Mel gonna say, Stormy cool, but she could be strong and, very vocal. But Tiffany also got to understand that when she first came into the group and got with people, she was very opinionated herself. And we was like, okay, yes. And see, I hate the fact that, we got this situation with Stormy and Tiffany. Because when Tiffany first came into the group, Tiffany did a lot. You know what I'm saying? Tiffany was very strong in her opinions about how she felt about people. Tiffany just didn't have a filter. Tiffany didn't think before she spoke. Tiffany just felt like she was putting stuff out there and there was no consequence to it, and that what she was saying and doing was nothing was bad about it. You know what I'm saying? Not realizing that she could be coming off offensive to somebody because she's speaking on shit that she don't know, or she's bringing up stuff at the wrong time, and it's almost as if she's judging other folks or whatever. So she came off wrong. But then you get this whole situation with Stormy, and to me, what it feels as though, I know Stormy said that Tiffany is weird, okay? She just comes off weird. We've seen how Tiffany act. Stormy comes off as if she's a fan of the show. She was watching the show, and so therefore she's getting her opinion about Tiffany from the show, and that's how she's going into the show, okay? That's how she's going into this season. Instead of just being neutral or having a clean slate and being like, not letting what she saw on last season bother her because it didn't have anything to do with her, especially given that Mel and Tiffany are friends. So how come, she's getting all these judgments from her? It's because she's watching the show just like us. Stormy is literally acting like a fan who just got casted for this show. I'm a fan who been watching everything. I've been looking at everything. I've been reading everything. And I see what people are saying about you. So therefore, that's what I'm getting my opinion from. Not somebody who is just trying to be real, trying to get to know somebody. Because besides that, she don't have a real reason not to fuck with Tiffany. Okay? Because Tiffany has not done anything to her. And I hate that she put on this show and making me say this about Tiffany, because I wanted to go down with not liking this bitch, okay? I really did. But see, Tiffany ain't even bothering me yet. We 4 episodes in and she ain't even bothering me yet, okay? And I'm sitting here looking at Stormy like, damn, Stormy, you making her look good up in my eyes for a second. Like, what's going on? Ew. But I can't go in on a bitch if I don't need to go in on her. But, basically, Mel was like, y'all just need to sit down. Y'all need to have a conversation about it, which is what they eventually do. Tiffany do bring up the whole situation with the book signing. She was like, Martel had invited me to the book signing. I bring Louis, I bring the kids, but you and the kids weren't there. She said, listen, girl, first of all, I just got notice of it. I was not asked about bringing the kids. I was told to bring the kids. Okay, mind you, this was a couple of days before this whole thing happened. And I already had plans, and this was my weekends with the kids, okay? And so Tiffany is listening to Mel's and her explanation about what happened. And she was like, well, girl, now that you said it like that, I kind of understand, okay? Because Martel was giving his version. Basically, Martel sat there at that book signing. It made it seem as though he was just so lost and so hopeless, so hurt, because Mel just really played him and was really being a bitch and not bringing the kids on purpose or whatever. And we sitting here like, and I'm reading the comments and I was like, y'all know what? Y'all are 100% correct. Martel did that shit on purpose. And we realized that he did that shit on purpose when he was up in there with his manager. And we'll get on that in a second. Because the main thing about it is, We can say that Mel could have been like, you know what, this is about the kids, and I can just give a little bit of time and let them come down here and look at the book and get their little shine on or whatever. I can give you this one moment, okay? But no, that didn't happen, and she didn't need to do that, or she didn't have to do that, because again, court mandated that was her time with the kid. Plus, she's already had this emotion that she was going down there to visit family because she had 2 deaths in her family. So you don't give her enough time to put stuff together. She's supposed to just scramble and do something because you said it at the last minute. That ain't how it worked. Martel knew exactly what he was doing. And like they said, this whole situation with, being divorced and, the exes coming in still trying to have control and use it against you, whatever. That's exactly what Martel is trying to do. Okay? We have to understand that both Melody and Martel are petty as hell. And Tiffany even said, don't let your decisions be made because of baggage and past stuff. And Mel had to say, listen, girl, the past is still here. It's still recent because we've only been divorced for like a year, if that. Okay? So everything is still kind of recent, And it's understandable, because Tiffany was like, I was just so surprised by Mel's response because, Martel was just sitting up at the thing and he was just so hurt. I said, Martel is the actor too at this point. Martel is a fucking manipulator, and that's all that it is to it, because he almost got me last week, and y'all saw it, because I'm sitting here like, damn, well, Mel could have did this, but then again, it is her weekend, but he did look a little hurt, but then I'm like, no, bitch, you a manipulator as hell, because you almost got my ass, okay? But moving on from that, they get into the whole situation because Tiffany also went through a divorce, her first husband, who is no longer here, and they get into the reason why she got a divorce. She basically said she wanted different, and when it comes to a different lifestyle, a different type of money that was coming in. She was saying how this man basically was working his ass off. It got to a point where he was barely there because he's always working, but she wasn't really seeing the benefit from it. Like, she wasn't seeing the money increase or anything like that. So they had their little disagreements. They left each other, or at least I should say she left him. He wound up passing away, but she realized that she was being selfish. She was being selfish, and she could admit that. And she was like, that literally could have been her soulmate. Mel was like, that was your soulmate. And she was like, yeah. She was like, damn, you got to deal with the fact that you broke his heart. I said, Mel, you ain't have to put her shit out there. Tiffany kind of like went like, damn, bitch, you ain't have to say it like that. But that's what it was. Tiffany, you broke that man's heart. Okay, you broke his heart because he probably felt like he couldn't do enough for you to please you, to keep you. But it's understandable. Like, sometimes you want what you want. And I feel as though it would have been even more selfish if she would have stayed in the situation and complained and complained and complained, and made it a difficult thing, and not just leave and get what she wanted. Okay, if you're not getting it from someplace else, you shouldn't settle. You shouldn't settle, no matter how much it's going to hurt the other person. But I do believe what Tiffany said, it was a selfish reason for the most part. Okay, understandable, but selfish, because it's like, what was you doing? What was you doing to help bring more money into the household? But it prepared her to be with Lewis, to know what unconditional love is and all that shit or whatever. And Mel was like, that's a good thing, and it's really refreshing to see that she admitted all this, because some people just can't admit their faults in situations, and we bring up the whole thing about money can't buy happiness. We know that, okay? It can buy contentment, bitch, a little bit. It do a little something, but it don't do a lot, okay? Moving on from there, we get Tisha go over there to Kimmy's house. Kimmy wanted her to come over so that she can clear up some things from the last time that they truly talked. I said, the last time that y'all truly talked, when was y'all last time? Baby, we talking about the reunion. I said, wait a minute, so we still on this? Girl, if y'all talking and we already seen y'all having conversation earlier in the season, we only 4 episodes in, I don't think there's really nothing to clear up. But for the sake of the show, we gonna clear this up about the reunion, with Kimmy saying that if she saw a person like Tisha and she was not, in the family, married to the family or anything like that, would she be friends with her? She said no, okay? And Kimmy has to clarify that, like, she's not the type of person that go back and forth with a person, okay? Because if she do, and you still want to keep on nagging and doing all this stuff, she's just gonna let it go. And that's not the type of person that she want to be cool with if it was anybody else. But see, this is family, and so therefore she loves Tisha, so she's gonna keep on trying with Tisha. Yes, Tisha be a brat. Yes, Tisha be spoiled as shit. Yes, Tisha can get on your nerves or whatever, but that's family. And when it's family, regardless of if you married into it, if you was born into it, you don't turn your back on them until it's the last straw. And it's not the last straw with Kimmy at this point. You know, she still want to continue to try with Tisha because she still got love for the girl. Tisha understood that, you know, because Tisha said she go back and forth with family too, and it's out of love as well. So they was like, let's just leave that shit up in 2021, all right? Meanwhile, they get to talking about the honeymoon that Kimmy went on. She was like, it was so great. You know, I'm just telling my other friends, like, I'm just so blessed that Jesus gave me Maurice. Okay, girl, you know, they had a good time. It was great. Did they go to Mexico or something like that? Because she was like, where they went to, she want to go back as a group, you know? She want to bring the group back with them. But at the same time, she was like, but let me tell you this, girl. So I went to Mel's Christmas party, right? You weren't invited. Destiny wasn't invited. But guess who else was invited? Keke was there. And I was surprised to see Miss Keke, like, oh my God, Tisha ain't here, so why Keke here? And Tisha was like, oh, so she was there. Huh. I didn't know that she was fucking with Mel like that, to know even to be up in her house like that and be invited. I didn't know they was cool like that. And, you know, people keep on saying that Keke, because this is what the chatter is going on. Like when I look at other people reviews and, you know, Scotty by Nature, read his comments for when he brings up a lot of, because he reports on a lot of the stuff that happens behind the scenes and the stuff that keep on occurring outside of the episode. So that's where I get some of my shit from him. And if you want some update on that, go follow his channel, Scotty by Nature. Scotty by Nature TV. So they was in the comments basically saying that, you know, Keke and Mel already knew each other for a long time and probably knew each other. Girl, is that a bump? Okay. Known each other before Tisha, something like that. Or something. They already had some dealings with each other. But either way, it still looked funny on Keke's part to be there, to be talking about whether it was that bad or not. You're still talking about your cousin's business to somebody that you know or should know at this point. Don't fuck with your cousin, or your cousin don't fuck with at this moment. It just didn't look right, you know. She was like, Kimmy said, we the type of people that do always saying don't do this in front of them or whatever, but this was the most inappropriate in front of them type of situation that was going on at that party, with Keke up there just telling all the business and everything. Now, when we talk about Keke telling the business, from what we saw, she just basically confirmed the fact that, you know, it was some rumors and stuff going around about Marceau prior to all of this shit coming out on the show. Okay, before the show came out, before any issues came out between Mel and Martel, all this stuff has been going on or whatever. And you know, Tisha had been talking to her about it. That's all that she said. It's not that bad when you look at it, but it is bad given the situation of who you talking to it about. You know, you got Mel, who already put out there, you know, in the first season that, yeah, your man out there cheating on you, and I know this, and all that. Okay, so yes, that looks bad. Either way, you're still talking on your cousin, and I wouldn't be talking on my family regardless, especially if they're not there. I don't do that. I don't do that, okay? If my friend is not there, if my family is not there, we're not talking about them, because they need to be able to defend themselves if some negative shit pop up. All I'm gonna say is they good, and that's it. We not, and if they some conversation come up where people want to start ragging on them and they're not there, I'm shutting that down, okay? And Keke, I feel as though you should have did that. That's what she should have did. But no, you engaged into it. And I don't understand what that was about. Okay, but we found out later on in the episode. Well, I should say at the very end. But, you know, she needs to have a sit down talk with Keke and get this under control and see what's really going on. So Maurice, he goes over there to Black to talk to Marceau, you know, telling him about what happened at the honeymoon. It was all good. And then I kind of found out Kimmy a whole nother type of woman when we get on honeymoon mode. You know how women get when they be up in vacation? They one way at home, but shit, bitch, when you get in vacation, it's like, yeah. Marceau, like, I get what you getting at, but I don't think you should be talking about that because I don't want to be thinking about my sister-in-law like that, okay? Because he in his confession like, you know, what goes on in the street goes on in the street. You could talk about that, but see, what goes on in the bedroom should stay in the bedroom, and you shouldn't be telling nobody that. That's the type of person that I am, all right? Plus, I don't want to be hearing about this because this is my sister-in-law, you know? I don't want to think about that. On the one hand, yes, I understand that, but he was just kikiing, okay? It wasn't that deep. I said, damn, Marceau, loosen up. But at the same time, I was like, yeah, I kind of agree a little bit. A little bit. I get where he coming from, so I'm not gonna come down hard on him. But while they up there talking or whatever, Louis shows up. It is so funny when they be talking all this shit about each other in they little scenes with their family and their confessions and what they gonna do and you know me, you did all of that huffing and puffing, okay? Both of y'all in y'all individual scenes in these last 3 episodes, and then when you meet up, it's y'all, what's up, my dude? What's up, homie? How you been? All this shit. Yeah. I said, don't be fake. I would have been like, what's up? Let's go sit down right here. Let's have this talk right quick. That's me. Let's get right down to it, okay? But you know, we're going to put on airs, you know, butter them up, get them a little drink. Let's loosen up before we can talk about this shit. And basically, Louis wanted to talk because he felt like the last time that they had that little conversation when they was at the reunion, Marceau blindsided them. Like, Marceau was coming at them so hard for no reason. And Marceau like, you really think I was coming at you for no reason? He was like, yeah, it was no reason. I said, no, okay. The fact that Louis was sitting there and he was acting dumb. And Louis was bothering me this whole time because, again, you're making me side with Marceau on some of this stuff, okay? Because at the end of the day, Louis, you were wrong. And I cannot stand a person who cannot say, okay, fuck it, you got me, I was wrong. You know what I'm saying? I stand corrected, my bad, I apologize. Can we just move on? That's all that needed to be had. But see, Louis got it in his mind that the things that he said, the way that he went about it, it was not wrong. Okay, so honestly, I feel like they didn't really get nowhere. Because even though they kind of made up and they kind of apologized to each other, Louis still don't think that he did anything wrong. Okay, he really don't. And that's a shame. That's truly a shame. He said that some of the things that Marceau was saying was not true. You know, talking about some that Tiffany and Louis was fake. And I'm like, you getting in your feelings because he rebutted and responded to the stuff that you were saying about him. Even though you may not perceive it to be offensive or being negative, you were speaking on his marriage and his relationship as if you knew him, okay? And his whole thing was, you don't know me to give an opinion about what's going on with my marriage, and then you're talking about we have a bad marriage. He was like, I could give an opinion on what I'm seeing. He said, yeah, you can do that, but what you're not going to do is speak and say that I have a bad marriage and you don't know me, okay? He was like, Marceau, I've been down here since 99. You know I know you. He said, listen, bruh, you've been down here since 99 and you don't know me like that. We didn't know you know of me. And I told y'all that. That is exactly what I said last week, right? Louis don't know that man like that. It's one of those situations where I see you around, say what's up, and keep it moving. He said, we have never sat down and broken bread. I don't tell you my secrets. I don't call you up and be like, yo, homie, let's go play ball. Let's go hike. Let's go run. Let's go get a drink or whatever. It's nothing like that. So you coming into a situation where you have not earned your keep. That's all that it is. You have not earned your keep. You have not earned your strike. You have not earned the right to come in and get to, you haven't even gotten to know them before you just started talking about the relationship. And that's the thing. The same thing that I said about Stormy, you know, coming in as if she's a fan from a fan perspective, because you can clearly see that's where she's getting her information and her viewpoint about Tiffany, because she watched the show, okay? She watched the show. I'm pretty sure unless Mel is a fucked up individual, and I don't see her doing this to her, unless that's the situation, You found your information off of the freaking TV show and stuff off of Twitter, okay? That's where you found your information from. Other than that, no. Oh, the dryer stopped. I can put this other load in later when I finish, just in time. So, you saying all that and get upset, you coming in with your viewpoint or whatever, you coming in as if you already know them and you don't. And see, that's fucked up, okay? We the people, we don't know their marriage, but we're giving our opinions based off of what we see. But see, y'all on the show, and it's supposed to be as if you don't know nothing about them like that. You're not supposed to come on with that type of attitude, you know what I'm saying? Like you can judge automatically, like you didn't even give them a chance. You just automatically just start, talking about their marriage as if you knew them, okay? And you don't. And that's where Marceau is coming from. And it was making me upset at the fact that Lewis was acting so dense about this. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, you being hypocritical because you was talking on his marriage too. Marceau said, bitch, I was on the defense because you came on the offense. So therefore I had to come back at your ass, And he was like, you know what? Okay, it is what it is. Because Marceau said, who the hell are you to say what's going on with my marriage? Who the hell are you to say that I have a bad marriage, okay? You don't know me to say that. Even Maurice had to step in and say, you will feel some type of way if somebody didn't know you. And we was up here speaking on your shit and we don't know nothing about you. And he was like, I got you. You right. It is what it is. And Lewis basically said, okay, cool. I was wrong. But the way that he said it, even Marceau picked up on it. He was like, hold on, because we need some clarity. Because the way that you just said that shit, it was like a agree to disagree type of situation. And he was like, no, we not finna do that, okay? Moving on from that, he was pissed about him, like I said, blah, 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 and Marceau gave that example talking about son. It's like you're a straight A student, okay? But that don't mean that you can teach. Because who the fuck is you to come in and try to tell us what we need to do and what we don't need to do? He was like, but I maintain that A. And I was like, well, Louis, you still ain't the teacher. I said the same thing Marceau said, you ain't the teacher, okay? That's not the point. That is not the point. Just because you got straight A's don't mean that you can teach something, But, they apologized to each other, and Maurice had called, well, at least Louis apologized again. And they shook hands on it or whatever. Maurice called Marceau out and said, don't you think you need to give him an apology for being excessively offensive to him afterwards, because of this stuff? And he was like, for what reason? Because you was doing too much afterwards. You was in your feelings because he said what he said, but then you just took it a little bit too far. And he was like, okay, cool, fine. I apologize. It is what it is, And at this point, you got Maurice in a confessional basically saying that he don't know what's going on with Marceau. Marceau used to be a good guy. He used to be a nice guy back in the day, but it's like, I don't know, maybe the money changed him, but all of a sudden he just became so hardened or whatever. Honestly, I don't feel like Marceau needed to give Lewis an apology, but I think he just did it to shut Maurice up, and I'm gonna leave it at that. Meanwhile, we got Martel. He goes to see his manager, Melnica, okay? They're getting his branding on. I see what they're trying to do this season, and we're only 4 episodes in, but I actually see what they're trying to see what they're trying to do this season so far. Because we have yet to get a scene with Mel and Martel, and I heard that Mel does not want to film with Martel. And I thought when she said that, because filming had already been done, I thought that was probably going to come up like later on in the season, but it seems like it's the whole season for right now. I don't know if this is how it's going to really go, because they have yet to interact, which is fine with me. But we see what's going on with Martel. They're trying to clean up his image. Y'all notice that? Now, all of a sudden, he has this new manager that he's known forever, who knows him through and through and keeps making it known to us. Oh, I've known you since we was kids. My family know you, you this, you that. We trying to get your brand on track. We trying to get you to have these different businesses to get money and everything. They're trying to clean them up, okay? That's basically what they're doing. He has an ebook coming out about health, He has a cookbook coming out. He had to change the cover because he didn't think it was appropriate for people to be looking at him with no shirt on, just make it family, appropriate. And I said, okay, that's cool. What else? They was talking about getting billboards up for the kids book, and to have the kids come down there with him, I guess in New York or whoever, and take pictures with it. And he gonna say, well, make sure that you, if we do this, you go ahead and make sure that, you schedule this on the day that I got the kids, okay? Because, I still feel hurt about the fact that Mel didn't bring the kids, down there. That really hurt me. And I'm sitting here like, Martel, stop it. You knew what you were doing, okay? You knew exactly what you were doing. And even Melnika really wasn't falling for his shit, She wasn't falling for it because at the end of the day, you did it on purpose. You put that shit on her day on purpose, and you knew it because you literally just told your manager to schedule this shit on your day. You knew what you was doing. But anyway, they're gonna do the wine tasting, the wine release down in Atlanta. He want a whole bunch of pretty girls. Okay, I want some pretty girls, And I was like, all right, cool. And then here come Melnika. Cause he said he was gonna invite Marceau and Maurice. Okay, well, is Marceau good? Because all this stuff that's been happening, the negativity, this post and all this shit. He was like, yeah. I mean, it was just a joke. She was like, next time, put that in a text message between y'all, okay? If y'all want a joke, put that in a text message. That's what we be all saying, okay? We all said that. It should have been a text message, group chat, or whatever. But then, here she go. Can the linebackers come? I said, now, girl, stop it. Because, girl, you not too far away from looking like a linebacker yourself. I'm just saying, all right? Because me and you can be considered that. Like, can we stop? Can we stop? All right? Moving on from that. Stormy invites Tiffany out so that they can talk. She was like, they got off at the wrong foot. Yes, y'all did. And it's mostly you, to be honest, okay? She said, because Tiffany came in and she was like, damn, did I say anything to offend you? She was like, I just wanted to get to know you outside of that ignorant comment that you made. And I said, what ignorant comment? Girl, she talking about the comment when Tiffany rebutted back to her saying, you're bringing something up like if we was 12 years old and you're bringing something that happened up when we was 12. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sitting here like, but you interjected on her conversation, so you get pissed off when she responds to you because of some stupid shit that you was saying? Okay. Tiffany was like, all right. She was like, bitch, you was being feisty. Don't call me feisty. You can call me passionate. I'm just passionate about the stuff that I want, you know what I'm saying? And she just wasn't receiving what I was saying correctly. That's all that it was. She said she doesn't drink. And so therefore, I was drinking that night and it kind of hit me a little different. And that's why you got that. It's always blaming the alcohol. It's always an excuse. Just say you was being a bitch on purpose, okay? That's all that it was because you already said that you don't like the girl. So no, it wasn't no alcohol. It wasn't you being passionate. It was just you being a bitch on purpose. Moving on from that, Stormy kind of apologized. And then Tiffany was like, well, Stormy, you're a friend of Mel. So any friend of Mel's a friend of mine. Can we stop saying that? Can we stop saying that? Because we're using this front word too goddamn loosely. And that's why we be in the situation that y'all be in now. Falling out because people telling your business, people being behind your back, doing this and doing that. You can't trust people. Everybody is not your friend. And this bitch ain't your friend. You talking about any friend of Mel is a friend of yours. Meanwhile, Stormy couldn't even say that y'all was cool. Okay? Stormy couldn't even say y'all was good at the end of this. Next thing you know, she's bringing up this whole... See, this is what I'm talking about. She brought up the whole thing about transparency. What does that got to do with you? That does not have nothing to do with you at all. That's what was on the show. That's what was said on the reunion that you clearly was watching. Okay? So why did you need to bring that up? So she talking about the transparency. Tiffany said, oh, it's a word that been overused. Let's use authentic. Tiffany going on and on. Or they trying to make it seem like she was talking on and on and on. And then Stormy was like, I'm going to be honest. I kind of zoned out like 5 or 6 sentences ago. Tiffany was like, damn, bitch, is that shade? I said, yes, it truly is. It was, Tiffany said, I could have blamed it on pregnancy brain, but she not pregnant right now. So that leads them to talk about the fact that, Stormy went through IVF and that was the hardest thing that she ever went through. What else? She found out in the process of that she had endometriosis and that was hard to deal with. She don't want to have a kid again because, she dealt with a whole bunch of blood loss and everything and it was painful and she almost died. So she don't want to go through that process again. Louis and Tiffany, they thinking about possibly having a kid again. She's 34 years old. She said she got her grandparents down the block, her mama down the block. So she got a tribe of people that can help if she needed. So they just thinking about it. Meanwhile, she was talking about, Stormy did ask her about how did her family come about, her adoption situation. She was like, talking about the woman gave birth to her in Birmingham. She wound up in a foster care in Montgomery. That's where her family picked her up at. And now she's in the process of trying to find her birth father. So I was like, that's cool. Stormy just couldn't believe what was going on because she was like, listen, I wouldn't be able to do nothing without my dad. Having my father in my life, I just wouldn't be able to do that. Or having him not in my life, I wouldn't be able to do that. And then she was like, we building this good rapport with each other. And Tiffany was like, yeah, we cool, we get along, right? She was like, we get to know each other. She was like, for real, we could, right? We good, we court. She was like, it is what it is. I said, bitch. Otherwise, that probably would have been me. Because I'm going to be like, if we're not good and I ain't going to fuck with you, I ain't going to lie to you. I'm going to be like, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? The conversation's well, the situation ironed out. But we ain't going to be friends. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. We're not going to be friends, okay? Never, ever. Meanwhile, at the end of the episode, Tisha, she goes down to black. She had Keke to meet her up there. And basically what wound up going on is she just trying to, she thought, her and Keke were good. And that's what she told Kimmy. I thought me and Keke were good. And she even told Keke that, bitch, I thought we was cool. Well, what's going on? Like, I didn't know we was fucking pissed off at each other or whatever. Because Tisha had to let us know that, she ain't my best friend or whatever. But I thought our relationship was good. We had our topsy-turvy times, but fuck, what's happening? She told her that, I heard about you. Kimmy told me about you going down to the mail's place and you telling her about business, about me, all up in my business, bringing my name up, talking and, telling this lady all this shit or whatever. And she was like, yeah, your name came up. I was telling them some stuff, but it wasn't in a degrading way. So, you can calm the fuck down. And, oh shit, I'm sorry. Keke was like, well, bitch, you was mad about me talking about something behind your back that you claim. But yeah, girl, you was talking behind my back too. So what are you talking about? You the one that was putting my personal shit out there. Baby, they gave Keke a whole confessional. Everybody's getting a confessional on this show. I said, what? The budget just went up, okay? And I was like, Keke, that's you, girl. I couldn't even tell. But Keke said, Tisha up here talking about some, I'm up here telling her business and stuff that she told me in confidence, but yet the whole time she didn't put my personal business out there to people that I don't even know like that and doing all this shit, bitch. So what you talking about? I said, girl, what the fuck is happening? Girl, come to find out, Keke is upset at the fact that 4 years ago, she said that she overheard or heard people saying that, Marceau and Tisha was laughing at her and Keke with the hoax about her. And that Keke was going through, because Tisha said Keke was going through something 4 years ago, okay? And, I had to tell Melody and Martel what was going on with her because this is the person that you got coming into your home, all right? And she was like, on the one hand, that's my cousin and I don't want to tell her business, but I'm also obligated to tell my friends at the time, the host, what's going on because you're inviting this person into your home. So I understand what Tisha was at. She was in a lose-lose situation, okay? And obviously, I don't want to assume, but I don't want to put it out there, but I'm going to assume that it was Keke like, was it a drug situation or something? Because if you don't want, you trying to warn somebody, because the way that they put it was like, this is somebody that's coming into your home, so I have to tell you exactly what's going on. So you have to beware. And I was just like, so what's going on? Because then Tisha was like, you want me to put your business out there, huh? You want me to put it out there and say what it was? I said, please do, because I want to know. Like y'all alluding to something bad that was happening, that she had to get her life right from 4 years ago. And the whole thing is just, it's petty as shit. It's blown up out of proportion. Yes, I did say it was fucked up that Keke was up there engaging with it. Yes, it was. But, for them to stir up old memories and old shit that happened between them, and this to be the reason why they fall out over fucking mail, bitch, I be good goddamn. Keke, you should never went to the party. I'm just gonna say that. You should never went to the party. And then if y'all gonna do this shit, why are we bringing up old stuff? I'm with Tisha on that. Why are we bringing up old shit? Old shit that we done sat on the phone, we done talked about, I done apologized about. You know, I never said that I was laughing at your shit, but I did say that I told Mel and Martel what the fuck was going on. Okay, I told them your business, and we talked about this shit. So why don't we just fucking not talk about it no more? Okay, why don't we just cut ties right now? Because this back and forth shit, bringing up shit from 4-5 years ago, I ain't even here for it. I understood where Tisha was coming from. Surprising to say, I understood where Tisha's coming from. Like, you want to be mad at me and you want to do all this shit. Be mad at me for something that happened recent, not something that we supposedly had put to rest and we apologized and moved on from. Because obviously that goes to show that you still felt some type of way, and you lied to me when you said it was over and it was done with. It wasn't, you know. So she gets up and leave, and she go outside and she go on the phone, right? She would get on the phone. She called Kimmy. Girl, I am so mad. I'm so heated. Like, she was like, girl, what happened? I just came up here talking to Keke, right? And she telling me all this stuff, and we having this whole conversation about this whole thing. And I'm like, blah, 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 blah. So she recanted the whole situation, right? And Kimmy was like, damn, that's how y'all gonna end it? Keke came outside and she was like, oh, so who else you talking to me about? Bitch, I would have said the same thing. I ain't even gonna lie. I said, well, shit. Let's get down to it. Part 2 next week, I guess. Anyway, that was Love and Marriage Huntsville. Y'all tell me how y'all feel, and I'll see y'all later. And again, I apologize if it sounded a little bit too noisy, because that's the actually that's the heater right there, or that's the heating system. There you go. Okay, I'm in the laundry room. Let me put these clothes in the dryer and start this other load. I'll see y'all later. Peace.